Lazy Investor here. Today we're going to talk about some of the tools and options of Thinkorswim that I use. This is not investment advice. This is for your entertainment only. Please do your due diligence before investing. So let's start over here with a scan. Most people are familiar with scanners on many platforms. So we're going to take a look at, let's see here. Let us load. Let's see, which scanner do we want to look at? Let's look at the RSI 5565 scanner. So basically what we have here starting at the top is volume at least 200,000. The ask price minimum $20. The RSI right here is set to default. We're going to look for greater than 55, and on the daily chart you can set this up for this is a bullish scanner. You can go less than let's see, you can go less than 40 to be looking for shorts or puts. Scan this and see what you come up with. You come up with 14 stocks. 14 stocks is actually super manageable, but what you're looking for is this RSI to go from 40 to approximately 30, maybe 25. Once you get below 25, not always, but generally you're going to be looking for consolidation at that point along the bottom, a reverse on the play, something. And then it becomes a little bit riskier. Same way with greater than 55. You want to go greater than 55, scan, look for a RSI between 55 and 65, and try to ride that up to 70 or 80. Just because it crosses over 80 into the overbought section does not technically mean that it is going to reverse anytime soon. It just means that it has greater strength than the overall market. Same way when you are doing a bearish position, when it hits 20, that does not, or the oversold position, that does not necessarily mean that it is ready to make a bullish bounce. It just means that it is weaker than the general market. So now that we have our scanner here and we have our parameters set up, I'm actually going to go back to, well, I'm just going to leave it alone. One thing that I do want to note here is if you go to, let's say, go to the 15-minute here, make sure this EXT box is not checked. Typically it'll default to being checked. In my experience, if you're using a lower time frame and you use the extended hours, it really messes with the indicators. So you want to turn that off, load it again, 38 stocks. That's pretty manageable. Now, 38 stocks is still a lot of stocks to look at, and then you can filter from here however you want to. Most volume, the last price that it was on the ask, market cap, from high to low, low to high. But once you get this set up, if you want to run the scanner all day long, you'll either have to sit here and hit scan and see if something else pops up for the this is going to affect mostly people that are trying to do intraday stuff. You'd have to constantly sit here and hit scan and see if anything else popped up, anything new, or you could go over here to the market watch. From here, the scanner that you just built would be under whatever you named it, and as things meet your criteria or fall off of your scanner's criteria, they will be added or dropped without you having to hit the scan button ever again. So from left to right here, we're looking at the ticker symbol, the name of the company, the last price that it was traded at, the change, and then these last two columns are custom script that I have. They are not default, and you will not just find them on Thinkorswim. They have to be coded, and generally speaking, you're not going to find, at least I have not found, where these boxes will light up and highlight when something meets a specific criteria. But this is not the default settings for the Market Watch. The Market Watch has a lot more stuff on it. I've also found that if you keep the list short, like under 100 stocks, and the fewer things that you have going across the criteria, the faster the software can respond. Now, mind you, I don't have a a battle station. I don't have a uh, high-end computer like an alien software or like a big gaming computer system or anything like that. And I find that that's not really necessary for what I do. Being that I swing trade most of the time, I don't need to have some kind of NASA space station set up, which mad respect to all day traders. Um, but let's keep going here. So you can go to the gear over here and add so many different things to this. I think there's about 400 options here. So let's say that we want to add a MACD histogram crossover, and we want it to be a little bit more responsive. So we go to the aggregation period, we go to 15 minutes. Once again, we're going to turn off the extended hours because we don't want that to skew the scanner. And in this case, since I like to take more bullish positions than I do bearish positions, I'm going to go from negative to positive. So it's going to cross over that 0 line on the MACD. So we would hit apply, okay, and you'll see right here, this one meets the criteria because it has that 1 inside the box. This one is meeting that criteria because it has the 1 inside the box. All the ones that say 0 do not meet the criteria, and you can actually filter these up. So we have 4 stocks that meet all the criteria. They meet the RSI over 55, trending upwards. They have crossed over from negative to positive on the MACD histogram, and the MACD histogram is not the lines crossing on the MACD. It is the red and green bars in the background that float on the 0 line. So they have went from red to green, and I think we'll take a look at Amazon. So it said that it met the criteria on the 15-minute, and here is where it's talking about. I don't have the RSI set up here. Let me add the RSI real fast. Quick studies. Is that box in the way? There it is. Okay, so right here, the stock made the crossover. That is right. So it made a crossover on the 15-minute chart. And I was wondering why the RSI did not match the criteria, but the RSI should be based off the daily chart. So it is based off the daily chart is 56.4 right now. So it meets the daily criteria. It meets the 15-minute criteria of crossing from negative to positive. So let's zoom back into the 15 minutes here. and you will see right here it went from negative to positive histogram. Green bars are starting to build up, and now you need to decide if you're going to take a position in this stock. So now that we've got that set up, let's take a look at this right here. So if you do not see this, I cannot remember if this watch list is default on Thinkorswim, and I know Trade Flash here is not. So I'll explain what Trade Flash is in just a moment. So if you want to add something, you hit this plus sign down here, you find what you want to add. You can add level 2. There's Trade Flash. Market Watch is somewhere on this list. So it must be default. So yeah, it looks like it must be default. So with that being said, you click right here, you go to personal, add your 5565 RSI crossover. You can once again edit it just like your market watch tab. Boom. You can filter it to meet where it meets your criteria. That one pops up, and then you don't have to watch the market tab itself. You can just watch the chart. Right here beside the ticker's name, you can unlink this, and this is what it'll look like. But if you click that to red, let me scoot this over a little bit, and then click this one that's default to unlinked to red as well. As soon as you start hitting stocks that are meeting your criteria over here, they will pop up on the chart. Now, going back down here to Trade Flash, Trade Flash is a lovely, lovely tool. So with Trade Flash, it looks for institutional buying and selling. You'll see large orders intraday. You will see institutions setting buy orders for when a stock hits a certain price. You can see how many orders or how many shares they're trying to purchase. You can see what kind of options activity is going on. The thing with Trade Flash is it's good for the day, and at the end of the day, it's wiped clean, so you can't see that information anymore. So if an institution put in a large order for SPY puts, it will tell you what strike price, how much they spent, what the expiration date is, so you can hop in and follow the large money as well. Now, it will also show you if they sell those puts too, which is a bullish move. So if they sold those puts instead, you would either want to be in calls or sell those puts as well, or purchase shares to follow the big money. So let's see here. What else can we go over here real quick? Just for fun, we will modify this to show you what this looks like when it pops up. We're going to go with the same parameters. We want to go for the aggregation period of 15 minutes, turn the extended hours off. We're going to go from negative to positive for bullish moves. We're going to hit OK, and there's that one that pops up. We can filter same way we did with our Market Watch tab. This is basically the Market Watch for you. And once again, once things meet your criteria or fall off of your scanner's criteria, it will be listed over here by whatever method that you choose to use. There are 400 or so options, so explore those options, see what works for you. It is my personal opinion that every single thing works. The Fibonacci's, the moving averages, the indicators. It's just a matter of finding yourself in the stock market, finding what works for you, what works for your brain, whether it's patterns, whether it's fundamentals, value investing. You know, it's really just about finding what works for you. So never limit yourself to one idea. Never limit yourself to just penny stocks or just options or just dividend investing. You don't have to buy just ETFs. uh, bonds, things like that. You you should always be striving to learn more and expand on the ideas. I personally like to dabble in a little bit of everything. I have a penny stock scanner. Go to my come on now. Here's my penny stock scanner. You can follow that if you would like, and I filter by change. You can also, like, if you choose to copy the scanner, by all means go for it, and then you can load it to the little market watch right here. Let's see. I also play with options. So the golden sweep. The golden sweep is when the 50 SMA crosses over the 200 SMA. And the reason I'm picking the golden sweep here is that might be a good indicator for you if you choose to, and you do your due diligence to consider buying options, call options. If you believe the stock is too weak, then you could do put options. But you're talking about large moving averages crossing over each other that were where the 50 was originally under the 200 SMA and it is now crossing over. So there's momentum there. It's an intermediate momentum crossing over the long-term trend line. So I would be careful, do your due diligence, like I was saying. Once again, not investment advice. This is strictly for your entertainment, just to show you different ways to play in the market. And apparently, there are no stocks out there right now that meet my scanner's criteria. Now, if I changed this $25 down to $3 or something like that, I'm sure plenty of things would pop up. Just out of curiosity, we'll give it a shot and see if anything pops up. But you also have to think about percentages. So yeah, plenty of things have popped up now. Look at that, 20%, well, 19% on a $4 stock is about 70 cents. Well, it was sub $4, but you get the idea there. It was sub $4. It made a 19% move, and now it's up to $4.30, 70 cents. I don't like playing that much volatility. I would much rather pick something that's got a little bit more value to it per dollar, that has a larger market cap. I would take the smaller percent gains and swing them versus trying to stick with the momentum. Even with my penny stocks, I would prefer to swing trade them and look for patterns or resistance lines to set my purchase and stop outs. Let's see. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for now.